Okay, this is lesson 6.3 notes on the percent equation. So in this example, we're going to be using percent equations to solve missing quantities of percent word problems. So a key idea here with a percent equation is that part of the whole is equal to the percent of a number, or the whole, the entire part. One thing to remember with writing an equation is that an equal sign is usually our is, and a multiplication is our of when reading word problems. So we're going to read the word problem. Anything that is a question mark, like what number or what percent, we're going to take all of those what numbers and what percents and replace those with the letter X in our equations. Okay, so let's take a look at example. These first few examples here. We have 39 is, so 39 equals, and then 52%. Remember that means 52 out of 100. So we're going to write the decimal in there, 0.52 of, is our multiplication, X. So that would be how we would literally write the words as an equation and then go on to solve. This is what percent of 12. So X times 12 is, for equals, 15. And then, of course, you would rewrite this as 12x equals 15 because a variable times a number is number variable. Okay, here we have what is. Again, 10% means 10 divided by 100 for 0.10 or 0.1 of 20. Okay, so there's our is and of, and then we would go through and solve. Looking at example number 1, we have finding part of a number. What number is 24% of 50? So X equals 24% is 0.24 of 50. We already have X by itself, so all we need to do is solve this problem. So we're going to just multiply 0.24 times 50, and we get 12. So our answer is just X equals 12. Okay, we have a couple try it problems. You can pause this video and try numbers 1 and 2, and then turn it back on to see how you did. Okay, we have what number is 10% of 20? X equals 10% of 20. X is by itself, so 10% of 20. When we multiply 0.1 or 0.10, you can always add the 2 decimal places in there. Our answer is 2. X equals 2. Okay, what number is 150%? That's going to be 1.5. If you do 150 divided by 100, it's 1.5 of 40. X equals 1.5 times 40 is 60. Okay, how about if we need to find the percentage and we're given the numbers? Here's what that one looks like. We have 9.5 is what percent of 25? So 9.5 equals what percent times 25? We're going to write that as 9.5 is equal to 25x. We're going to divide both sides by 25. And of course, I'm running out of room here. So we're going to have x is equal to 9.5 divided by 25 works out to be 0.38. Now, that is the decimal. We are asked for the percent. When you have percent equations, you actually have to convert your decimal answer to a percentage. So we're going to multiply by 100, and we get 38% for that decimal answer. Okay, pause this video and try numbers 3 and 4, and then turn it back on to check. Okay, taking a look at number 3, we have 3 is what percent of 600? Well, x is being multiplied by 600, so to undo that, we're going to divide both sides by the 600. X is equal to 0.005. We're going to multiply that number by 100, and we get 0.5%, changing our decimal answer to a percentage. Okay, 18 is what percent of 20? To undo a multiplying of 20, we're going to divide both sides by 20. X is equal to 18 divided by 20 is 0.9. Thinking about that in two decimal places is 90%. Again, you can take your 0.9 and multiply it by 100 to get your percent. 0.9 is 90 over 100, or 90%. Okay, let's turn it over to the next side here. What if we're trying to find the whole amount? In example number 3, it's the same steps here. Is always going to be our equal sign, of will be our multiplication, but because we have a percent here, we're going to have to change that to a decimal. So 52 divided by 100. So we have 39 equals 0.52 times x. Okay, to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by 0.52, lining up that equal sign, and we get x equals 75. And 75 is the number. Okay, pause this video and try 5 and 6. Okay, looking at number 5, 8 equals 0.80 times x. Divide by 0.80, divide by 0.80, and x is equal to 10. Okay, here we have 90 equals 180% is 1.80, 100% plus 80% of x. We're going to divide both sides by 1.8 or 1.80. And we get x equals 50. All right, now we have a word problem. Example 4, modeling real life. You are paying for lunch and receive the bill shown. Okay, so we have a food total of $27.50. The tax on that was $165, and the subtotal is $29.15. It says find the percent of sales tax on the food total. So we need to know what is the percent sales tax. So we have A equals P percent times the whole number. So our tax here is our 165, and we want to know what percentage that is. So that's our X, that's what we're trying to find out, of the total bill here, which the total bill is $27.50. Okay, so of course, whatever we multiply, we have to divide both sides by to get X by itself here. And we get X equals 0.06. Now remember, that's the decimal. So we're going to have to do 0.06 times 100 to get our percent of 6% tax. Okay, so it says if you leave a 16% tip on the food, find the total amount you'll pay for lunch. So if you're doing 16%, we want to know what is 16% of $27.50. So 16% is 0.16, divide by 100, times $27.50, and we already have X by itself, so all we have to do is multiply 0.16 times $27.50, and we get 4.4, which in terms of money is $4, and remember two decimal places, $4.40.